What's up, traders? So welcome to another weekly market analysis, and for this particular analysis is going to be covering for the date of from 17th until 21st of August, which is the third week of August. So thank you so much again for the feedback that we've been receiving pertaining the weekly market analysis. You guys say that you've already been making money from these setups that we've been sharing, and of course we are here to give you more content. So make sure to subscribe, make sure also to press the notification button so that anytime I upload a video, you are notified. So without wasting much time, let's jump straight into it. All right, so starting off with the economic calendar, let's look what we have in terms of fundamentals. So Monday is going to be a busy week in terms of fundamentals, especially if you trade JPY, if you trade also the Canadian dollar. So because you're going to be having the GDP growth on JPY, you're going to also be having some news on Chinese yen here, and also some CAD news, which is the CPI for CAD, as well as USD fundamentals. Now for Tuesday, we're going to be having some AUD, GBP, Euro and USD pairs. Then on Wednesday, we're going to be having some GBP, which is the inflation rate. Then we also be having CPI and FOMC minutes. That is on Wednesday. So the dollar traders, I think you need to be aware about Wednesday. So then on Thursday, you're going to be having some JPY, AUD and USD news. Then you're going to end on Friday with some JPY, Japanese yen, GBP and CAD news. So that is it for the fundamentals. Now let's jump straight into the technical analysis. Now we'll start off with the DXY as usual. If you are new on this analysis, then DXY represents the strength and weakness of the dollar against other currencies. So that is it in a summary. Now, for the DXY, it's been a while since we have been sitting on this zone area for a couple of days now. So actually, right now, I'm just tired about the DXY because DXY mambo imekuwa ikifanya hapa haieleweki kabisa. So I'm for the opinion that do what you want and then move. Now, looking at what we have from the daily chart is that the price has already been reacting on this daily demand zone. So my expectations is that during the last week, the just concluded week of CPI, we would see price pushing off from this level. But funny enough, that did not happen. Actually, furthermore, we had a more bearish price action based on what we were seeing in technicals on the dollar index. But again, when you go to the lower time frame, or rather even to the 4-hour time frame context, we see that the dollar still has not broken any key levels that can really show the intention right now. So let me just recap what we had for last week. So, and also what I had forecast for our forecast for last week. So we had earlier mentioned that I would like to see price at least breaking off this level so that we can confirm bullish momentum for the DXY. Now that did not happen. And again, we had also mentioned that anything is possible. Remember, last week we had mentioned that if at all DXY would break this level, then that would confirm our bullish price action. And if at all we would see some reaction from this level here, then it means that DXY would be probably ready to take out these lows. Again, we had that beautiful reaction on DXY, but again, price is yet to take these levels here. So therefore, it's easy as saying that the DXY is now in a consolidation, and we cannot make so much a decision, especially if you don't have any position on any dollar pair. So I'll be showing you what I was trading the DXY last week, and also during the live CPI, we had an amazing trade, although we were stopped out later on at break even because price did not have momentum to push up on the Euro USD. Now, from the DXY, what we can see is that myself, I would like to see once price reacts on the same zone, on a demand zone for quite a long time, I usually assume there is no enough momentum to push that price. For instance, DXY has been in this zone for the whole of August. From the first week of August, DXY has been playing around the same level. So my assumption is that buyers are not ready to take price, or rather they don't have energy to take price higher. So I'm not interested in buys on DXY anymore. Now, again, we can see that what happened last week is that a price did some liquidity sweep. You can call it a liquidity sweep. The layman a price action, they will call it a stop hunt. So this is a signal that, so let me show you the stop hunt, or rather the liquidity liquidity is here. So you can see that weak candle just pricing up above this high, just to take some guys might think, oh, price is already breaking this level, so we are going up. So that is what market movers or money makers or smart money or institutional traders will use to hoodwink people to get in the wrong side of the direction of price. Now, looking at again the candlestick momentum, you can see that at any given time you are seeing a very bearish price action. You can see this momentum candle on DXY, signifying that we have strong bearish momentum. And again, we had some little bullish price action momentum, signifying that buyers were getting strong, but again it did fade off once we did this sweep over here. So immediately we did that sweep off over there, so you can see that price has been making lower highs and lower. Now, one of the biggest challenge when it comes to skilled traders is how to secure trading capital in their forex trading career. Now, I want to introduce you to WeMasterTrade.com, a platform that is ready to empower you in your trading career journey. Now, with WeMasterTrade.com, you can be able to scale up your trading career with either instant or challenge accounts. And the beauty about WeMasterTrade.com is that with as low as $35, you can be able to secure an account for yourself that fits your budget. Now, using the code on this screen and using the link on the description, you can get yourself 30% exclusive to all members in my community. Go out there and secure your trading account with WeMasterTrade.com. So now my expectation as we open the week is that this level down here will be broken. So this level here will be broken. So if at all DXY is now to proceed moving down, then of course we'll see this break of structure over here. There's mini break of structure over here. So for us to break these levels again, so we might also see a break of these levels. Now, if we jump again to the higher time frame context, I just want to show you something interesting, which I think maybe probably this coming week, that would be the reaction that will push the DXY up. Now we have so pretty much of liquidity down here on these lows here. So my assumption is that if at all DXY is ready to push up, we will see a break of and take out of this liquidity, of course, and break of this zone, only to come to react to this zone, which is just below here. Now on this zone, we have some very tiny imbalance in between here. So we have some very tiny imbalance in between here. And again, of course, this level here has lots of liquidity for people who have been looking to go long on DXY. So my assumption is that DXY might take out these lows only to come and react on this minor demand zone, which is a 4-hour demand zone, for us to take price higher. Now, if we get a bullish confirmation from this level on DXY, then of course I'll be ready to go more buys on DXY. But if at all this level again doesn't hold, just to keep in mind that we are still trading in between the swing high and the swing low. This is the daily swing high of the daily. And again, we also have these as the swing low of the daily. So remember that from the daily time frame context, so price is still in a bullish structure. So even if we break this level over here, so price is still in a bullish structure. And what can you see on the extreme, this trending range that we have from the daily? Because why am I calling this the daily trading range? It's because this is a swing low that caused this break of structure. So this is the highest price point that DXY got, and this is the lowest point for that before that break of structure. So therefore, DXY might actually do anything it wants in between here, and of course, we are still in an uptrend from the daily structure. And if at all this level now breaks, then of course we'll be looking to take DXY to this extreme demand zone, because we have also pretty much of some imbalance low here and also some liquidity just lying here. So that is it for the DXY. Of course, as I usually say, we will always react to what price is doing. So that is why I took a couple of minutes to analyze DXY deeply, so that you can understand all the scenarios, the possibility scenarios that might be happening on the DXY right now. Now let's look at the dollar, the Euro USD, sorry. So Euro USD, I'm gonna be recapping this beautiful position that we had for last week actually. So during the CPI, we were trading this bullish move over here. So let me just show you what we were looking at. So initially, I was looking for price to, even before NFP, I was looking for price to, of course, tap this demand zone over here, which is a 4-hour demand zone. We had some beautiful 4-hour demand zone over here. So price had not gotten there on Wednesday when the CPI was happening. So my assumption was that maybe price is not ready to push down there, and me and my team, we were already in a position on DXY once on Euro USD, sorry, once I think it was around 4 p.m. was based off the 1 hour. So once price showed us some bullish price action here, exactly. So I was taking a position from this level here, looking for price to take out these levels over here. So because again of the analysis that we've done on the DXY, you can be able to piece it up for yourself. Now, unfortunately, price gave us this bullish momentum, but again, price started pushing lower. At that particular moment, we had already put our stop loss at break even, so we did not make money, and we also again did not lose any money because our positions were at what? At a break even. That is how always you should always protect the money that you your equity, of course, which also determines your equity curve. Now, after that CPI on Friday, we did see price giving us this signature setup. Remember, if you can go and revisit my last weekly analysis, I said that if at all price EURUSD does not break this level, which we had this demand zone over here. So because this demand zone again had caused this good break of structure here over here. So we had this demand zone causing this break of structure over there. So I was very certain that if at all price is able to dip down to this level, give us our signature setup, which is the change of character, which looks like this. Let me just show you. If price was ready to give us something like this, then I was ready to get into what? Into this setup from here to ride the price move high. So that is what I had mentioned on the previous analysis. And truth be to it, we had that signature setup on EURUSD. So price did this last break of structure, and we had a change of character. Therefore, we had our entry from this level here, and we were looking for price to take out what? These buy side liquidity over here, or this swing high. You can call it buy side liquidity or swing high. It still means the same thing. So we had that beautiful setup of what? 1:2. My entry was a little bit higher, so but 1:2 risk reward ratio setup. Now for EURUSD, what is going to be happening during the upcoming week? Now still price is bullish. We are still in a bullish setup. Just to it depends on also again what is going to be happening on the DXY. So if at all price breaks this high over here, so if at all we get another break of structure, if at all the market opens and gives us another break of structure over here, then it means that there is a high likelihood. Right now, the candle that closed last week is kind of a rejection candlestick from the 4 hour. You can see still, but from the daily, this is significant bullish price action. So if at all this level of supply does not hold for price, then it means that we'll be looking for more bullish price action, and of course, a price might be heading to what? To the next key level of supply over here. Now, if at all, again, let's check and see if at all we have some from the level that you've seen on DXY, there's no imbalance immediately above there on EURUSD, unlike the DXY. So yeah, that is it. So, and if at all again we also see price breaking this level, so this swing would be the determiner if at all price is going to be pushing lower for EURUSD. If at all we're going to be going shorts on EURUSD, so we want to see a break of this level to give us that 4-hour change of character, then we'll be looking for a pullback to short price from this supply over here, so to continue with with the lower highs and lower lows, or rather the bearish price action. That is it for EURUSD. There is nothing much to analyze it deeper, so it is as it is. Now let's look at AUD/USD. Let's look at AUD/USD. Now, AUD/USD has been also in a very strong bullish momentum, and there is no sign of what? There's no sign of bearish price action at all. So last week, actually, I was waiting for price to come to this demand zone, just like EURUSD we had analyzed. For AUD/USD, we were looking for price to come test this demand zone, and once we get here, we look for a signature setup model to take price higher. So unfortunately, for unlike EURUSD, AUD/USD did not get to this zone, so we did not have any setup on that on that level. Now, looking at what we have right now in AUD/USD, let me just clear this off so that it cannot be distractive to you, so you can be able to see what I am looking at clearly. So I would like you guys to see what I'm seeing clearly, so just give me a minute. All right, now the chart is a little bit cleaner now. So as you can see, this was a break of structure earlier on, and then last week again we had this break of structure And right now, price failed to break above this high when the week was closing. So means that we have that rejection candlestick over there. So does this signify now that we are ready to sell AUD USD? The answer is no, because if at all we are ready to, if at all AUD is ready to go shorts, then we must see at least a break of this level here. So this is the protective low that buyers are defending. And if at all price is above this level, or rather this swing low, then it means that AUD USD is gonna, we will continue to look for buys. Now, going down to the 1 hour time frame context, you can see still a very bullish price action overall. So I wouldn't want to be going shorts from these levels over here. So until at least I see a break of this level. Now, there is still a possibility, depending on how the dollar behaves, there is still a possibility for AUD USD to break this level and target overall this higher supply zone that we have over here. So you have to keep that in mind, and of course you must be reacting to what price is going to be doing. So if at all we get a break of this level, then we'll be looking for price to pull back, test the demand zone that we will have left here for price to to take buys to continue to the next key levels. So you might get off this level, and again we also have another level over there. And of course I've already mentioned that for sales, you want to see AUD USD probably doing this change of character, breaking this level here, because this is a protected low for the buyers, and of course do a pullback to the supply levels that we will have left here for us to look for sell or rather for short confirmations. Now that is it for AUD USD. Now let's look at GBP USD. So similarly, GBP USD, I'll not break it further, just the same as Euro USD, the same as AUD USD. So if at all we see this low being broken, then it means that price sellers will be will have shown their sign of strength. Therefore, we'll be looking for a pullback on any supply zone that we'll be having here to look for short confirmations to take price lower. And of course, if at all price is also able to take out this zone that we are currently on, then it means that price might be pushing higher, probably to react from this key level here. So I don't see any it's not a valid supply zone, this one over here, because we don't have any imbalance. So but
have you heard all the forex hype online, flashy cars, false profits? Here we are not about the hype, we are about the skill. Our training is real, practical, and beginner friendly. We will train you how to analyze the market, risk management, and also how to grow your account step by step. You can visit us at Spar Mall, 2nd floor, S47, or give us a call on our number, which is in all our social media platforms, to book your slot and start your journey to financial freedom.
Might hold the price, because that's again might be a key level looking at the historical price action. So that is it for GBPUSD. Now let's look at NAS 100. Now for NAS 100, we have been having a very bullish momentum on NAS 100. So you can see the price action is very bullish. And in my earlier video, I mentioned that I don't see any of these I don't see any of these zones holding price from where we are. So I had earlier mentioned that I don't see any of these zones holding price. So expect price to take out these levels as levels of liquidity. So what we are having right now, let's go down to the 4-hour time frame. So from the daily time frame context, a very bullish price action. Although we closed with an indecision candlestick. Now going down to the lower time frame, that the immediate time frame, which is the 4-hour time frame context, you can see that we had our last break of structure over here. Now you have to reckon that once we had this change of character from the daily, or rather even from the 4-hour time frame context, price has never pulled back. So we've not had any pullback ever since we had this change of character. So from my perspective, I see price probably pulling back to this 4-hour demand zone for price to test this level before we can see price pushing higher, of course, to take out to take out these remaining levels or zones that we have high over here. So that is my, I would like to see price doing that. Now, if we go again down to the from the 4-hour time frame, you can actually see that we had a bearish engulfing there, and that is a sign that price at least might be ready to push lower. Now, again, if I go to 1-hour time frame context or even M15, you'll see that what price did as the week was coming to a close. So we have that minor is more of a liquidity sweep, because again price did not close high. So more of a liquidity sweep. Then we had the change of character here. So, and overall now, we can say that price is ready to push what? To push bearish, but again, this might be a what? A counter trend move. So you can also see that it's more of a double top for that setup. So what you might see from price, this would be a setup, or rather to a setup to open the wick. So you can target these lows over here. So for a 1:1, a 1:3 risk reward ratio. So NAS 100, we might be having that opening setup. Again, it's a counter trend, as I have mentioned, that might be a very risky sell because price is in a very high bullish momentum. But looking again, even from the 1 hour time frame context and even for the 4 hour time frame context, we have some imbalance over here that needs to be filled. And again, we have these levels over here, which I believe price must take out these as liquidity. And once we take out that liquidity, of course, we want to see price pulling back down to this 4 hour demand zone. So you might have some short positions from this level here going down to this demand zone. And once price gets to test this demand zone, then we want to again to get to buys to take out this overall swing high. Now that is it for NAS 100. So NAS 100, you can position yourself for sales short term before we jump over to the what? To the buys once price comes to or tags that demand zone. Now let's look at gold. Let's look at gold. Now gold, let me also clear this. So for gold, from the daily time frame context, price is reacting off this supply zone that we have over here. So this is our supply zone. So price is reacting off that zone from the daily look. And of course, this was our official change of character because this was the last break of structure. So this becomes our official change of character from the 4 hour time frame context. Now, is price turning bearish? Probably yes. Is price bullish or rather bearish? Now, the answer is that once we had this change of character, now from the 4 hour time frame context, price officially now should be in a bullish price action. However, of course, price also must react from the what? From the key levels or the POIs. Now, my perspective is that we already seen a reaction on this level. If we go down to the 1 hour time frame context, probably you'll be able to see it even better. Price turning inside out to a bearish price action because of the reaction on that level. So this was again the last break of structure going up. And again, therefore, it means that this is our official what? Change of character. So from gold is officially what? Changing or showing signs of weakness since we have the change of character right now. So if I again pull off my fib from this high to this swing low, I can see that price is already reacting at the 0.5%. So if when the market opens, I'll be willing to take a position on gold from this from that point over there. So, and I'll be looking to target these lows over here. So now what we are having on gold is that price might be pulling back to these areas of demand. We can have this zone over here. And again, we have another extreme zone over here. So we might be having gold coming to react to these levels. And most likely this one, because this one is not on the what? On the discount. So we might be seeing a price coming back to these levels over here for a deeper correction, which is the demand zone. Therefore, we'll be taking that short position. And once price comes back to this demand zone, we'll be looking for what? For reasons to go for buys. So as the week opens, you want to take attention, or rather to take attention of this move that we are having over here. So I'm hoping that price will hold on these levels. These levels will hold for price. But if at all you're taking this position, make sure that your stop loss is just above here. And what also gives me more confidence is that we already have some sweep, liquidity sweep over here. So this would be a what? An interesting setup to see how the week opens and for it to roll out. Now let's look at silver. So silver almost similar setup with gold. So I'll not go to the higher time frame. So price is already reacting on the 4 hour supply zone. So if we go down to the if we go down to the 1 hour time frame context, what you can see is that the price has been making higher highs and higher lows, constant break of structure here. So we have a break of structure, another break of structure, and just as the week was concluding, we had a change of character over here. So this should be a change of character. So now once we had this internal change of character, therefore it signifies that price is willing to go lower. So pulling off the fib from this high to this swing low, price is already reacting on the on the 50% zone, and this is actually my signature setup model. So I did not want to take this setup as the week was closing because of low volumes or low momentum. So I would like to see how the week the week opens, and this is a setup that I would be willing to take for a 1:3 risk reward ratio on silver. So this should be your opening setup on silver. Now the last one is BTC USD. So BTC USD, this will be our setup to look at. Now BTC USD, earlier on I was very bullish on BTC USD. My bullish bias has not actually changed because the bullishness was being informed by what? By this break of structure over here. So I was looking for price to, again, from the daily time frame zone. Let me just break it down from the daily. So this is our swing high, and this is our swing low. And overall, if at all you can pull the fib from this high to this swing low, you can see that price has not yet tested the 50% fib zone. So my intention was that at least you should be seeing price pushing higher to test this the 50% fib level before we can continue going down. Now, going down to the 4 hour time frame context, price was making higher highs and higher lows from this structure. So my expectation earlier was for price to break this swing high over here, so for us to continue that bullish momentum. Unfortunately, that did not happen. However, we still have buyers defending this the last swing that caused the last break of structure. So if you can see, we've been having some bearish price action here, and I've actually been having some few shots on BTC USD, but price is yet to break this level, which is the swing that caused the last break of structure. Therefore, it tells you that buyers are still in action. What we had here is price doing some liquidity sweep and not a real break, just faking out on this level here, pushing up again. Now, if at all, again, you have a proper understanding of the market structure, you can see that, again, the swing that caused the last break of structure, again, was not broken. Instead, what did price come to do? So we had this break of structure here, but price, the high that caused that break of structure, price just came again and did another sweep. So those are games that the smart money will always do, the institutional players will always do. So we have a sweep on this low, sweep high again, and again now, price has already returned to this demand zone that was formed when price was pushing high like this. Now, despite us not having a break of structure here, so I see there is a high likelihood for this demand zone to hold price on BTC USD for us to see the bullish now price action taking over. So if you can check again on the on the 4 hour price action, you can see we had a very beautiful bullish engulfing candlestick on that zone. Therefore, it tells you that there is significantly high bullish momentum holding price on that level. So if we come down to the 1 hour time frame context, so you can see this was our last break of structure going down. Therefore, in my view, I would like to see price breaking this high over here, which caused this break of structure. And once we break this high, then that will be a confirmation that price is ready to push high, or rather buyers are taking over. Therefore, I'll be looking for a retracement to this zone for price to continue making higher highs and higher lows like this. So this is the price action that I would like to see. So if at all price breaks this level and pulls down here, so this will be my kind of setup that I will be taking on BTC USD. So you can have a 1:3 risk reward ratio from that level over there. So again, you just have to wait, be patient enough for price to break this level. So that is it for the weekly market analysis, guys. So I'm hoping that you enjoy your new trading week. Whatever I've given you on this particular analysis, or rather in-depth analysis, is A+ setups that are highly likely to happen, or rather to set up during the new week open. So be on the watch out. And of course, if you want to get real-time updates for the pairs that I'll be taking, and anytime that I'll be taking them, make sure to join the Telegram community, because I post on a regular. So watu wa free Telegram pia kidogo wamesema umepotea sana ututumii setups, is because the VIP is keeping me so much busy. And of course, if you want to get now the meat the meat of everything, all setups and everything that we do in our community, you can always contact the number on the description so that you can join our VIP community. So be part of our students. So I'll be updating you on a regular basis, and of course see you on the next one. So I think we are done, so let's get ready for the new week. Make sure to subscribe not to miss out. See you on the next one.